Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Monday night, I am bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and tonight we are talking about inflation and the cost of living. And the reason we're doing that is two headlines I saw this evening in the Guardian newspaper. You know me, I read everything. The Mail is just annoying me now, the BBC is a pain in the ass, but I found these two articles and I was a bit quizzical. So let me just tell you a little bit about them, or let me just tell you what they are. So the first one is from the Governor of the Bank of England, and he has said there could be a rapid fall in inflation in Britain amid a drop in global energy prices. Yay! Isn't that exciting? We're having a drop in global energy prices, which means if the prices drop, then we could have a rapid drop in the inflation rate in Britain. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Now at the moment, the headline rate for annual inflation fell back to 10.7% in November from 11.1 a month earlier. Now official figures, which are due on Wednesday for December, are expected to show a further modest decrease to 10.6. I'm sorry, modest decrease. Personally, I'm going for a more negligible decrease, 10.7 to 10.6. As my daddy would say, I've thrown mair at a dog when I couldn't find a stone. 10.7 to 10.6, so it's certainly not dropping just now. But he's saying rapid decrease or a rapid fall in inflation because of the decrease in energy costs. Then there is another thing that says higher UK energy bills are here to stay, says oil company boss. Now this is the boss of one of Europe's biggest energy companies, has warned that higher gas and electricity prices are here to stay, and consumers should not expect them to return to levels seen before Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, this is the chief executive of Norway's state oil company Equinor. Says all sorts of things have got to be taken into consideration. Now, The Guardian reported in October that the world's biggest oil companies, including Shell and BP, made profits of nearly 150 billion in the first 9 months, not even a year, first 9 months, 150 billion. And they're telling us that prices cannot go down. Now, it says here, while in recent weeks wholesale gas prices have returned to pre-Ukraine crisis levels, this guy says that with the Russian war prompting a rewiring of energy systems, bills would not turn to historic levels of the average about 1,300, which it used to be before Ukraine. I mean, at the moment, it's like double that. But he's saying we need to treat energy as something that's not abundant, so we've probably wasted it, we need to make the right investments, and with the windfall tax, we have to take into account what's the tax level compared to all the other risks, blah, blah, blah. So, Bank of England said inflation is going to drop rapidly. Oil and gas company man says don't expect energy prices to fall too much. Bank of England says inflation is going to fall rapidly because of lowering energy prices. Boss man of gas and oil company says, nope, we can't afford to give you those prices back again. So energy prices are not going to be falling that much. Who do we believe? What's going to happen? Does anybody know? Right hand, left hand, does anybody know anything? Really? Whilst all the time, us wee minions in the middle are trying to make ends meet. You saw Mandy doing the frittata because putting on the oven heats her wee cottage. Trust me, she's not got the heating on. She had her oven on for half an hour. That's her heating the cottage. There's a whole lot of other people who can't even afford to do that much. Mandate is working 40 hours a week. There's other people who are on 0-hour contracts, who are on minimum wage, etc., who couldn't even be doing that. And what are we getting from the government? All right, good. Do you know, credit where credit is due. There is the energy price cap and stuff. Do you know, there's other payouts. But people are living hand to mouth. And to have the Bank of England say one thing and the oil and gas companies say another thing, it would be nice to know that this country was getting back to people actually not having to do heating or eating. I know it's an overused phrase, but heating or eating is where a lot of people are. And, you know, there's so many of us have worked so many years to put into this country. We've paid our national insurance, we've paid our tax, and now we're being left with nothing. Now we're struggling to keep a roof over our head because the private landlords, because there's been no decent amount of social housing built in the last however many years, so many people are now with private landlords, mortgage rates have gone up, they're starting to struggle as well. And the government's just sitting there going, we're going to go against protesters, we're going to make new laws. You won't be allowed to strike anymore, we're going to make new laws. You may have made a new law, Scotland, but we're not going to allow you to keep it going. You may think that you're entitled to this. Let me tell you, you're not. Me and my pals can make millions. You little minions will just need to go and pick everything up off the floor from the dregs of our table. That's certainly how it's feeling to me. And I'm not impressed at all. So there you go. That is my thought of today. It just shows you right hand and left hand. Nobody has a clue what they're doing. And we're just stuck in the middle, trying to hold it together and hoping that it gets better. You know what the next thing's coming out my mouth does, doesn't you? Prep more. Because if right hand and left hand still don't know what they're doing now, I don't see it happening anytime soon. So there you go. That is my thought for this lovely Monday night. Now, please feel free to switch off here if that's what you came for, because I'm just going to update you on the rest of the stuff that happened at the weekend. That was a laugh. So you may have seen the meat that I had out to get canned. Yeah, no canning was done. No canning was done at all. We helped out a family who we know who are struggling, and you know, canning takes a long time anyway. And I don't have my storage cupboards up yet, so when somebody told me, you know, that it's so and so, and it's like, and we'll do that, and you tell them that, you tell them, come down and get this, it's all going to go off if you don't. And obviously some of the preps from the cupboard went as well. But as a channel, as a person, I'm just happy we could help, because they're a lovely family and it's through no fault of their own that bureaucracy did stuff. And think they will be back in an even keel next week. So, you know, that was my good deed for the week. Then, so, I honest to God, just never again am I going on my hands and knees to clean the bottom shelf of a cupboard. Kathleen is getting a phone call. She's like 6 inches smaller than me. She's getting a phone call to come and do that because, oh my goodness, trying to get up from that cupboard was a laugh and a half. It really was. But we got so much done. As I say, Kathleen came through. She took like the big boxes of cat food that I bought. She ran up and down the stairs with them. So she took stuff up the stairs that I wanted upstairs, and she brought me stuff downstairs that I wanted downstairs. Patrick's daughter came through. She helped with stuff as well. So we had a whole thing going. I mean, my kitchen still looks like a bomb city. However, there is method in my madness. So that was fine. So then, you know, everybody went away and I was like, right, cup of tea. So, okay, Patrick had messaged to say he was coming through. So I was like, right, make him tea, make me tea, and vegged out my chair. And that was all I did. I swear I have not been that exhausted in so long, which is why there was no video later on yesterday. I was so tired. And I barely remember what we watched on TV. Patrick's like, do you fancy that? I was like, I don't care. I really don't care. Go away. You know. So I had a hot bath, got into my cosy jammies, vegged on the chair again. Never been so happy that I batch cooked in my life. Putting dinner together was sausage casserole in the microwave, mashed potatoes in the microwave, frozen carrots in the pot. 10 minutes I had dinner. I was so happy. I was absolutely exhausted. But then I had the best sleep ever. I have not slept that well in so long. Number of painkillers I took before I went to sleep might have had something to do with it, because my hip was really, really sore. So were my shoulders. So I was like, nope, I'm just going to hit the painkillers. I had the painkillers and got such a decent sleep. It was fabulous. And then woke up all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And messaged Mandy going, I'm awake. Is there anything you need to do? Are we all good? And then went to work. So here I am. Oh, before I went to work, can I just mention also, I love having my dehydrated stuff. Because, you know, if you do meatballs or bolognese and you've got your dolmio and your stuff, passata is much cheaper. But it doesn't have the herbs and spices. I've got all that dried now. I have got all my dried stuff. So I threw the meatballs in with the dried onions, the dried mushrooms, the dried carrots, the dried coriander, the dried onion and garlic powder, threw it all into the slow cooker and put it on low and left it for the day. And I actually forgot all about it. And when I was driving home, I was like, what am I going to have for dinner? I'm starving. Oh my goodness. And I walked in and smelled it. So there you go. I know I'm wittering now. I will let you go. I hope you've had a lovely Monday. And I will catch you later.